is video 81 of 101. This video is about intelligence. So yesterday we talked about art versus science and how they're not really a versus, but more of art being an umbrella term and science just being one of those categories. And so today we're going to talk about intelligence, because there's always this debate, like if you're going for an academic route or a creative route, which one is smarter? Who's the smarter person? And I remember in like high school and middle school, you would have academic and then applied classes, and the applied classes were more using your hands, and the academic classes were more essays and writing things out. And everyone was like, oh, the academic is so much smarter, you're going to go to university with those classes, and you're so much smarter if you go to university, and like the applied classes, you're going to college. And it's like, there's not one smarter than the other. You know, being creative, using your hands, and being academic, writing things down, there's a difference in just the technique, but they both are their own kind of intelligence. You can't compare the two, and really intelligence as a whole is creating something, and that is anything. It's creating an essay, it's creating an art piece, it's creating not just things, but creating experiences and conversations and solutions. It's a doctor going in and seeing its patient, analyzing the situation and recommending the correct solution. It's a mother looking at her child and analyzing the situation and giving the correct solution. All of this requires intelligence. Intelligence is when there's a problem and you are able to provide a solution by assessing the situation, the different components of it, putting it in your head, letting it sit in there, get a little comfortable, maybe get a little uncomfortable and bump heads, and then producing a solution from that. Intelligence is a lot of things, and when you think about some of the things that you love to do, you'll realize that some of them actually require a lot of intelligence. Even making friends and making conversation and making people feel comfortable, that requires intelligence. That requires you to assess that person and determine what the best thing is that's going to make them feel good. Sometimes that's intuitive to some people, but that's just super intelligence. So how do we grow intelligence? Well, in one of my math classes, one of my teachers said that the more that we use our brains, the better, the smarter they are. And there's actually like nerves in our brains, nerves and neurons, and they're called ganglia, I think. This was a while ago that she told me this. When we use them, they get stronger. And when they're stronger, it's easier for us to figure out solutions. So if we want to become more intelligent, just find problems, help people that we know, look around and see where we can help things. Think about industries that you love. Think about products that you love. Think about ways to improve that. Think about solutions for these things. Think about just things in your life. Think about issues that you have. If you're unhappy in a situation, think about how you can solve that. Think about how you can tackle a certain project. If you're in school, think about your homework in a certain way. Maybe take some different classes, give a different perspective, and do something you've never done before and figure out how to do it. Learn how to do something. Yeah, and learning something requires intelligence. It requires you to think and determine new muscle memories and new habits in your head to do these things in this world. I think intelligence is one of the most incredible traits that humanity has. Any human being, because we have these complex organs in our heads, allow us to be intelligent. All you have to do is find the problems and put yourself in there. Find the solution for that. If you don't know it right away, that's okay. Because the thing with problems is not knowing the answer right away. It's going into that problem and figuring out what the answer is. Looking at a problem and saying, I don't know what that is, but I'm going to find out. And pushing yourself and actually finding out, following through. And because when you find that solution, it's going to feel pretty great. So find problems in life, in people you know, find people who need help, find industries that need help, and create solutions around that. That is intelligence. Maybe it's just something you're already dealing with in your everyday life, which is awesome. But if you're feeling like you're lacking, if you're feeling like you're unfulfilled in life, maybe it's because you're not being challenged enough. So never shy away from problems. Let problems motivate you. Let you see a problem and say, hey, there's no solution for that. I can figure that out, and I can be the person who figures out that solution. And then do that. Problems are just the first step to a solution. You can't have a solution if you don't have a problem, so don't be afraid of problems. Just see it as the beginning. Intelligent people are in all walks of life, not just creators, not just intellects, in literally everybody. Almost all jobs require some form of intelligence. Obviously there are some technical jobs or just more manual jobs that are just more of a physical kind of continuous action, which is totally fine. But maybe there are other parts of your life that are stimulating. Maybe you're a parent, or maybe you volunteer somewhere, or maybe you have friends, or maybe you hold experiences, maybe you do some kind of activity. All these things, all these figuring it out, that is intelligence. Figuring it out, you're creating a solution. You're creating something. And it doesn't have to just be a solution. Sometimes you're creating a poem. Sometimes you're creating a layout in your house. Sometimes you are determining what the best birthday party is going to be. Like literally anything. Creating these things, these situations, these conversations. That is intelligence. And intelligence is in all of us. We just have to find problems or identify problems and solve them. Don't be afraid. Problems are just the first step to solutions.